Canon 10-18 utilizing the OIS center lens. I'm using the EVF to near my eyes to stabilize. Only the OIS center lens. OIS off in the Canon 10-18 utilizing the APS Sony. OIS and plus the IBIS. Canon 10-18 OIS plus IBIS. I'm using a picture priority. With digital stabilization at 1.1 crop, it turned into around 11mm. OIS plus IBIS plus digital stabilization. This I'm recording with the Canon 10-18. I'm only using the optical stabilization in the lens. Yes, the optical stabilization in the lens. I'm at 10mm. I'm recording with the Fuji X-S10, but I'm not utilizing any IBIS. So we are thinking to get the Canon 10-18. This is the video quality and the image stabilization you are going to get. I'm recording in the regular 4K 100 megabits per second, not the DCI. Just to give you a good comparison, we are going to compare with the Nikon Z50 M6 Mark II, Sony a6600, ZV-E10, etc. So I'm using the aperture priority. My shutter speed is somewhere around 100. f4.4 is the aperture. ISO 320. Only OIS in the optical. Yeah, so this is the OIS. So right now I have turned on the IBIS, so I'm utilizing the OIS in the Canon 10-18. I'm using the Fringer adapter, the Fringer, the Pro one with the aperture ring. So how good is the IBIS in combination with the OIS in the lens? I'm handling and trying to work slowly. I'm using the standard profile, everything in stock setting. Now I have turned on the digital stabilization, so the 10mm become around 11mm. On the Fuji X-S10 there is a 1.1 crop, so this 10mm become 11mm. I'm utilizing the OIS plus IBIS plus the digital image stabilization, and I'm using the built-in microphone. Can you see the plane? So can you see the plane? So yeah, built-in microphone. I'm holding the camera from the lens. Canon 10-18 with OIS plus IBIS plus digital boost, regular 4K 100 megabits per second. So now I'm only using the IBIS, no EIS, no optical image stabilization in the lens. This is the field of view you are going to get. Now let me hold the camera from the grip. Before I was holding from the lens. IBIS plus EIS 10-18. So right now I'm 10mm. I'm not using the OIS in the lens. 11mm, 12mm. I'm utilizing the IBIS plus the EIS 13mm, 14mm, 15mm, 16mm, 17mm, and this is the 18mm. Now this is the IBIS plus the digital image stabilization. I have turned off the OIS, the optical image stabilization in the lens. Sometimes the optical OIS is trying to fight with the IBIS, and then it make a little bit like shaky. Personally, in my testing the Fujifilm X, the Fuji film 15-45, just on the OIS is perform much better, but when using with the IBIS, it's a little bit shaky. But the sad part is that you cannot turn off the optical image stabilization in 15-14. There is no switch. So this is the IBIS plus the EIS only. The Canon 10-18, the optical stabilization in the lens is off. So if you're thinking to get, okay, you think to get, I mean, this accommodation is very good, it's very cheap compared, and the good thing is that there is no background wrapping. Like, I mean, if you're using the official Fujifilm 10-24 Mark 1 and Mark 2, it's going to be like this. So this is the Canon 10-18 using the fringer adapter on the Fujifilm X-S10. I have turned on the OIS in the lens by turning the switch, and I'm using the IBIS plus EIS. So if you're thinking to get the upcoming Viltrox 13mm F1.4, this is the field of view you're going to get. Again, right now I'm at the F4 because when using the Canon 10-18 at 13mm, it's going to turn into F5. But again, I just want to show you the field of view, and then the question is that, like, if you're using the EIS or the digital image stabilization, this is 1.1 crop, 13 times 1.1, so it gives you around 14.3. yeah. So if you're thinking to get the upcoming Viltrox 13mm F1.4, this is the field of view you are going to get by utilizing the 1.1 crop, the image stabilization. We are at 13mm.